bad news is I didn't get to run my goal marathon, Myrtle Beach. I got to go down there for a weekend, Thursday through Sunday. So got to get in a little bit of fun and sightseeing and that kind of stuff, but I didn't actually get to run the race. So that was a big bummer, but was pretty sure that's what was going to happen there leading up to the race because my knees just wasn't good enough to run on. Had a moment there when I went to pick up my race packet and my knee felt really good. It kind of comes and goes, so it's really kind of maddening. Hard to tell when it's really better, but it felt really good there as I was walking around, and I was like, a little bit of hope. But yeah, I ended up not running. I did get out and watch the race, so I can report a little bit about like the race course and stuff like that. It seemed like a really cool course. I'm really kind of tempted now to want to go back and run this thing for real because it's a very flat course. Part of the race goes just like not even a block, like one row of hotels from the actual beach. So it's very, very flat and seemed like a really good race. It's a fairly good sized race, but it's not so big like a Chicago where you're tripping over people. So I think it's kind of a nice sweet spot there where it's big enough that you're probably going to have people to run with at your pace, but not so big that it's like, you know, one of those huge marathons where you're just like, you know, corralled into those starting lines and you can't even move. So yeah, I was really kind of impressed with it. The finishing chute was really cool. It finished up at I think it's a minor league baseball stadium. And so there was this nice finishing chute. They had a jumbotron so you could see people crossing the finish line and stuff. And it just seemed like a pretty cool race and, you know, nice wide race course. And everything just seemed like it went real well. I didn't obviously run along the whole course or walk the whole course, but I got to see most of it either during the race day or just driving around and sightseeing and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely think it's a race to consider if you're looking for a fast race in in March. It's kind of a nice, there aren't a lot of races usually in winter, a lot of marathon choices, and it's kind of a nice getaway. Lots of things to see and do in Myrtle Beach, so something to consider if you're out there, if you're looking for something, if you're looking for that really early spring, I guess technically winter race, but the weather was actually pretty cool, but that's usually a good thing for marathons, but it was like 36 degrees about the time the race started, I think. So that was, you know, a lot cooler than you might think Myrtle Beach would be. So that's something to, you know, take into account. But the normal temperatures are higher than that. I think the high only got up to like maybe 50 degrees that day, 52 or something like that. So it starts really early. I believe it starts at 6:30. So that's something to consider too. They do that, I assume, to keep it nice and cool. But this year it was, you know, especially cool. So. But I think, again, the average temperatures are usually warmer than that. Usually it'd be like just the perfect temperature. It was pretty much perfect weather while I was there, besides being a little cool in the mornings. But once you get running, you know, you get heated up and stuff like that, and then it gets warmer throughout the day. So I would, you know, that was a little bit frustrating because I was like, these are like the perfect conditions to run in, you know. It was sunny, not real windy, and just seemed like a good race. So as far as how I'm doing, I still haven't run. My knee keeps feeling better and better. I'm going to see a doctor tomorrow. I think it's just runner's knee, but I kind of want that reassurance of having a doctor look at it and, you know, give me the prognosis and when he thinks I can run. I'm just like, it's hard to know when you can run. And this knee is really weird because at moments it feels like fine, like perfect. And then it starts to kind of ache again and stuff. And oddly, the time it seems to hurt the most is at night when I'm not even walking on it. So it's really kind of weird. It's kind of different than when I had runner's knee before. So I'm not entirely sure that's what it is this time, but it's definitely something in the kneecap, it feels like. So I do feel like it's getting better, but it's just frustrating because there's times when it's like, it feels perfect. And there's other times when it kind of gets aggravated. So, so we'll see. I'm hoping to get back to it, you know. I'd like it to be right now, but you know, I'm trying to be smart about this. I don't want this to be something that's going to drag on and on. I want it to get better so I can get back to it. As far as my marathon schedule, That's kind of up in the air right now. I'm signed up for the Marquette Marathon on Labor Day weekend, but I'm still debating whether I want to try to capitalize on all this training I've done, even though now I've had, several spans of time off, but wondering if I could try to sneak either the Martian Invasion, which is paid for by my employer, TechSmith, or possibly do Bayshore. We had a Bayshore Marathon registration open up, so I could potentially sign up for that, and that would give me a little more time to kind of get my fitness back. So kind of debating that. It really just depends on when I can start running again. If I can start running like right now, and the other thing is like how much damage have I done by having this much time off? Can I still go out and run 20 miles, or am I going to have to build that back up and all that kind of stuff? So so I'm still sorting that out. I'm not exactly sure when my next big race, when my next marathon will be, or when my next race at all will be. I'm signed up for one, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, and then the weekend after that as well, a 5K and a 10K. So I'm thinking I'm probably not going to be able to run those, but I'm taking it day by day basically, because I just don't know when my knee's going to be able to support me. And maybe my doctor will tell me that it's fine to run on it. You'll be in a little pain, but you're not going to damage anything anymore. I kind of doubt that, but if that's what he says, I'm happy to run through it, but I just don't want to do anything dumb and make things worse. So I'm very anxious for that doctor's appointment, and hopefully he can give me some kind of a reasonable diagnosis, fairly confident that he knows what it is, so I can just feel like I'm doing the right thing or not, because I'm trying to treat it as wisely as I can, but I don't know exactly what the problem is, because it's a little different than when I've had runner's knee before, so I'm not convinced that's what it is, but I think that's what it is. So anyway, that's a long rambling story. I don't know when I'll be back next for my next race preview and review, because I don't know when I'll be running again, but stay tuned. I'll be back with more content when I can, and thanks for all your support.